Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're on episode 6. We're keeping it going, and as you can see, a lot looks a bit different here. I've been a bit busy off camera. Sorry. Because I've been trying to sort of get ready for the next episode, and in that I got a little carried away, and I was doing things, and then I was doing other things. I made some armor. I upgraded this thing, which is, if you remember, we had a bat box here which really just holds EU. This holds more EU. It's called a CESU. That's really no big deal. And then this has been running. We have 52 steel, which we can potentially use to maybe upgrade our RF production, but we'll talk about that when we get there. And then I don't remember if I had this pipe hooked up last time, but either way, these are still running on blocks, whereas this is still producing regular, which is only feeding into this. That's why we have so much of it. And I moved this guy. I was testing if he loses power when you move him. He does. But we have 8 million in there, which is a lot, considering we only needed like 2,000 to make an extra one of these at first. And then we have this guy, which we've seen before in previous series, but it's an empowerer. Put a button on top, and if we throw something at it like rotten flesh, it turns into leather. And it doesn't turn everything into leather, but like it turns rotten flesh into leather. And then I have this, which is producing lapis for us. And then obviously the biggest difference is all of this. I was in a bit of a building mood, and I figured you guys wouldn't mind if I built basic stuff off camera, because it's really just tedious building. So I made a bunch more dirt using these guys, and really expanded the platform and put a fence around it, and just overall made it better. And there's a little bit of glowstone around, just to decrease mob spawns, but mainly to increase passive mob spawns. And I'm still trying to get dirt to spread the grass over this way, because as you can see I put a little dirt border around the little house I built. It's not much, but I just wanted a place to craft, you know, like a wall of basically the things we need. And then this is our Industrial Craft 2 chest, this is our Forestry chest, and this is new. This is from Actually Additions, so this is going to be our Actually Additions chest, which is what that Empowerer I just showed you over there is from. The thing that made the leather. Yeah, so overall not... like, it looks like a lot's changed, but really not a lot's changed. I did solve the problem with the mob farm. I was tinkering around with this for a while. And what I did is I lowered this by half a block, and I was able to get rid of this. And now we can very easily hit them without them even doing anything. And we can pick up the drops, no problem. So that was a revelation for me, which is why we have a bunch more bones now. Which is great, in case we ever need bones. Also, what you might have noticed in that chest that I showed you from Industrial Craft, I made a jetpack, because my goal was to go to the Nether and find a Nether fortress and fly around in the void there, but that is really scary with a really, really crappy jetpack. So, yeah, I think that's everything that's changed. I think. If there's anything else, you know, it'll probably come up in a different video. But here we have what I've prepared for this episode. Because if we go over to our quests, the order in which everywhere I can look, the order in which you're supposed to do it, the order the guide text tells you is this is our next one, the shock absorber. Which sort of makes sense because that's from Actually Additions. But if we look up the shock absorber, it requires obsidian and empowered void crystal. And I looked, like, yes, there's a way to get obsidian. We can get lava. The recipe's been changed. Lava isn't the issue. It's this thing. Because this thing needs void crystals. And void crystals you can only get from turning coal into it. Now, how do we get coal? From this next quest. So, I'm not so sure what the intention here is. There's one other thing I was thinking. How we can get access to coal, and that's wither skeletons in the Nether. So if we put cursed earth in the Nether, we might get skeleton spawns, which then would be wither skeletons, which would then drop coal quite frequently, and we could duplicate coal once we get it. But that wouldn't make sense as it giving us access to coal, because theoretically these things mean you shouldn't have nickel until you do this quest. You shouldn't have diamonds until you do this quest. And so while I want to do it in order, I literally have looked through JEI every which way to see if there's any way around doing this. And in JEI there is nothing. So I think we have to do the biomass quest before we can do the shock absorber. Anyway, even though it's not in JEI, I'm going to check if this will turn charcoal into void crystals. I doubt it will, but we're going to test it. And yeah, doesn't do anything, just as I suspected. So our next objective, let me just stock these up again. The problem with this is, like, since this turns on and off, or this rather, to compress the air, like, this is full and we technically don't need these constantly running, but they just keep burning, so like, we're being really wasteful with those, but that's fine. We're producing so much charcoal. Anyway, okay, so yes, what was I saying? The project for today involves making biomass, but we're not stopping there. We're going to make ethanol. So I made some biogenerators. So this time we're not doing crafting. This time I've already crafted up a bunch of the stuff we're going to need. And basically biomass, obviously we know how to make that. We've done that before. If we take it and put it in steel, or still, I'm not sure, it turns into ethanol at a 10:3 ratio, which isn't fantastic. But I tested this guy, the biogenerator, which generates EU. Because I was looking into how do we get more EU, because one of our quests is to produce lots of EU. And there's ways. There's this guy called the geothermal generator, and it's still considered a tier 1, but it's pretty basic. But you need lots of lava for that one. And I was like, well, we don't really have lots of lava right now, even though that is on our list of projects to do. So for today, what we're going to do is we're going to set up biomass, turning it into ethanol, and then we're going to use these guys. Because these guys, I tried finding online what their rate is, and what it says online is not supported by what I was seeing in reality. Online it said they were producing like 16 EU per tick or something, and that's just not true. It was producing far more than that. So anyway, let's just grab all of this, and I think we'll just try to set it up right around here, and just kind of see how that goes, and then we can hook it up, maybe with cables in the back or something. Okay, I do have 2 buckets. We need to start with water. So I should grab some from over here. And I've been growing and, you know, cutting this stuff down as we need to, and producing lots of wood and apples and all that. But so I don't know if we'll have enough room, so I'm going to move this guy because I'm pretty sure we don't want him there. Let's move this. Okay, so I need blocks. Of all the things, I need blocks. And let's just use stone slabs. Stone slabs are a great way to contain water. So if we want this guy, the water condensator, this guy produces water based on water around him. So if we put 1 bucket here, that's actually pretty quick. I'm only going to put 1 down for now, and we'll just see if that's enough. Because if that's enough, that's great, but we'll see. So then what we need to do is we need to run it through the fermenter first, yeah. So let's go up a block. We'll do like kind of a zigzag pattern to keep it all condensed. So we want to do fluid duct. And I made servos. They're not the fastest servos, but this thing doesn't use water quickly. Like, it'll fill up and we'll be good. And so then we want to do this. And do I have my crescent hammer? I do. Disconnect. And then we want to run what's coming out of there into the steel. And what's going to come out of there is this and this. And we'll have to keep this running, but yeah, of course you don't have power. So this, I checked, compost doesn't run out. Like, this red bar is going to go down much slower than this green bar. Basically per run, basically per bucket of water it uses 1 sapling, but it does not use 1 compost each time. That is something I've noticed. We need more saplings than we do compost. 1 stack should last us quite a while, actually. But so now if we take this, that to turn on, so this is going to take biomass and turn it into ethanol. And then we're going to pump the ethanol into a singularity tank. And that's just kind of to gauge how much we have in the system. But the big problem is power. And so for this, instead of, just running a cable from these to this, I kind of wanted to have independent systems, maybe, is the best way to put it, because we don't have power sources, we don't have batteries yet. We need to do some quests to get access to those. And so, what I'm thinking is I want to make, and I don't have this prepared, the coal generator, not from Actually Editions, but from RF Tools. Oh, never mind, forget it. We can't make that yet. We can make this guy. Does it say how much? It says 30. Okay, well, maybe I will just snag one of these guys for now. Okay, well, it kind of dampens the plan, but it's fine. So we can take this. It's not going to be pretty, and I didn't bring power cables. Kind of forgot those guys needed power. Not gonna lie. But that's fine. So I believe power cables are 6 of these, 3 of these. We're still using these things called the second cable, which transfer some random number that we can't really read of RF. So we'll just hook this up, and it's kind of going to look like this with cables all janky and stuff. But that's how modded works, Everything's a janky looking cable thing. This doesn't require power, this just produces. And so this should be running. Missing liquid resources. That one's on. Can't work. But it is working. We're losing these guys. Okay, it's getting in there. Can this not work before it gets a full bucket? Is that what's happening? Okay, that might be it. But I definitely think one water source seems to be enough. And this thing is running at full capacity. So we can actually upgrade these. And that's kind of what I would like to do. Because if this can't keep up, that's a problem. So for now we'll just produce ethanol, and we'll worry about hooking these up. And you can see I have recyclers in here. And if you know what these are, great. If not, we'll talk about them in a bit. So, what do we want? We need a resonator, which is, please, oh my gosh, we need one of these too. I don't think we can make a resonator yet. I don't think we can. We have gold, so we could make upgrade bases. How do we make one of these? Because we have redstone, we have ender pearls. Okay, we could actually make that. We can make these. Can we... Does this allow blocks of charcoal is my question. If it doesn't, then we are still in the same problem we were before. Okay, well, I guess we're just not going to find out. Although, well, we need grid power to run it anyway, so how tough would solar panels be to make? Solar panel from extra utilities. We would need polished stone, which we can get. That's not a problem, but we'd need more of these. And okay, this will run slowly, but it'll run. And maybe. Okay, yeah, there we go. We have ethanol. Okay, so let's worry about hooking these guys up. Yeah. So we need. So this is the bat box we used to have. These biogenerators are what I want to replace these guys with. So if we have this running, by the way, I think I already mentioned this, but we're almost done producing steel, so that's fantastic. I'm going to go get my wrench so we can actually pick all these machines up, hopefully without any of them turning back into machine frames. I was reading that it's actually a config that you can set, like what the percentage is, and so far I haven't lost anything. Obviously I haven't picked up a lot, but so far I haven't lost anything, so we might, the mod author might have been kind to us and made it 0% chance of losing the machine if you use a wrench. So we got that back. That's fantastic. What's the best way to do this? Because I kind of want to keep this running until it's done. Okay, yeah, you know what? We'll leave that running for now. We'll just work around it. So we have these biogenerators, which are going to take this stuff. So I'm thinking we make a column. If it's going to come out of this, we want to go here. So column up this way. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So let's disconnect all of that. Oh, no, I said disconnect. Let's... Okay, we're disconnected. And then biogenerator, biogenerator. And then we'll put the fifth one on the bottom, but we'll worry about that later. And so that's what all of these fluid ducts are for. That's not even where I clicked. What? Okay, what is happening? I swear I need a new mouse. Hello? Is there something here that I can't place? That was so weird. It wouldn't let me place. I was right-clicking like crazy. Hey guys. So I just blew up a bunch of stuff while I was moving stuff around. Because I guess I was using too high voltage. I'm really not sure what happened. All I know is that I need to make new machines. And that I think we have to use tin cable because that's the low voltage one. I'm very confused because we had all these machines hooked up before using copper cable straight up to the CESU, so I really just don't know. Luckily they're all tier 1 machines that are easy to craft. But yeah, we lost our extractor and the bat box, so let's hope this doesn't blow up. The cable disappeared. Okay. I don't know what's happening, guys. The cable burned up. Okay, so that's why I was thinking we might need one of these. Low voltage transformer. It accepts 128 but puts out 32, is what I'm hoping. So, wooden planks and a coil, and luckily we have an extra coil because remember this only needs 20 to run. I didn't move this yet because I'm hoping this will finish and then I can move it. But, okay, so I'll have to do a lot. I'll have to replace those machines. So let's see, low voltage. Let's do that. Okay. I really don't want to lose all my machines. Oh man, I don't know they're like quite the mechanics behind it all, so I'm very precarious here. So let's take a look at this block first. So we have, looks like 5 outputs and this one is the big input. Because it's, okay, yeah. So we'll put that like this. Okay, filled up. Output 32, input 128. Yes, and this thing maxes at 128. So now we should be able to, like, even though these carry 128, right now there's only 32 going through it. We should be able to put our compressor. Hey, it worked. Okay, thank goodness. I was really, yeah, okay, so, anyway, this kind of, well, no, it doesn't ruin it. Okay, so we can, because I was thinking I'd set up the recyclers kind of like this as well. And we have 4 recyclers. Nope, that didn't quite work. No, oh, jeez. Thank God loops like that don't blow things up. I'll just put a crafting table here. There we go. So, I'm thinking recyclers just like this. If I could get back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can get rid of this again. It's definitely a compact setup. We have space and we could use it, but you know, who needs space when you can squeeze everything into one little corner. So we can see these guys are technically already running. They are filling up slowly with ethanol. I've turned it off for right now just to see what would happen. I set this guy up to keep being fed blocks and hopefully run forever. Actually, he's full right now. What's going on here? Oh, we're out of saplings already. That's not good. Might need to set up a automatic tree farm just so we keep up our saplings. Who knows? Either way, what's next is we need item ducts. So we need to, so we need to feed items into and out of these recyclers. And I'm thinking, actually, what am I thinking? I was thinking, every time I pictured this, the recyclers were horizontal, not vertical. So we can feed items in the back and pull items out the front, but then we don't exactly have room. Oh man. Okay, once again, one sec. Alrighty, back again. I decided to do it the way I'd kind of been picturing it, which is using hoppers for some reason. And we did lose one in the process, kind of just fell over the edge while I was, you know, wrenching them away. So now we only have 3, and this is looking more and more janky as it goes. But I promise this isn't a permanent setup, this is just to get us scrap, and honestly I'm not even sure why I wanted scrap anymore. I think it was, let's just see. So scrap makes scrap boxes, and scrap boxes have a loot table. Ah, here it is. What was it that I could get from them that I wanted? Technically emeralds. Slime balls, I think that was maybe it. Soul, I think maybe netherrack? Netherrack, yeah, we can get netherrack from it. Oh, and blaze rods. That's what it was. So there's bonuses, but blaze rods are what we're after. And so we need lots of scrap. So how would we keep these topped off? Because these literally turn any item, there's a chance for that item to turn into scrap. I just put some charcoal in because that was available. But what we want is we have this handy dandy cobblestone generator that has literally been doing nothing for a while because this has been full for decades now. Literal decades. So, we're going to set this guy up probably right here. And just tell it to output. And maybe we should have a buffer chest there, I'm not sure. No, it looks like this will work. Not the fastest, but we do have some cobblestone to get it started. So I'll monitor that and see if it needs, you know, like intervention, or if this is fully independent. And we'll just toss that. Okay, and then I just ran a cable over here real quick to keep this guy topped off, because we are really close, but this guy's empty now, and we did lose... No, we still have the compressor. Oh, yay. Which I should be able to put here? Okay, whew. Close one. I'm really worried about stuff blowing up now. So this guy's back to drain. Okay, and this is a little bit. We can't tell exactly how much. Ay. Okay. I think this has been successful. This is running now, and it's running very quickly. We might need to upgrade our cobblestone generator, because there are tiers of this, and we can definitely go up to... Let's see. So we have the basic one. The next one is iron. 1 every 20 tick. We're doing 1 every 40 ticks. Oh, the next one after that is diamond. So we're actually stuck with... We could go up to iron, which isn't bad. Or we could just make... No, we can't make more of them, because we don't have lava yet. Speaking of which, that's the next objective. Lava factory. Lava factory controller, yeah. So this guy, if we look in here, there's a picture. There we go. This is what we need to create, basically. And it just takes our F. And so this is all the stuff that I have been semi-busy off-camera producing so that we can get started with it. But what I really need to do is clean up my inventory of all this EU stuff, because we're transitioning into actually additions. So let me just put all this away. This belongs in here, this belongs in here, this belongs in here. So does that. And that looks like that's it. The rest of the stuff is general cabling, which I don't actually have a designated spot for, so that's not good. So I do believe it was 3 of these. Hello? Scroll wheel? Oh no, it's just 1 iron casing and a nori crystal blocks. Okay, so we just need 1 of these. An nori crystal is... sounds fancy, but it's really just iron that we ran through the not the empower, the atomic thing. The thing with the button over there. Forgot what it's called. And then we need to create basic quartz, which is redstone and black quartz. Or redstonia, which is, as the name might suggest, redstone ran through that thing. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. And we need buckets. So, 1, 2. Let's just make a bunch of buckets. There we go. And we have the factory controller, but that's not everything we need. We also need the casings, which is Inori crystal and iron casings again. Hopefully that recipe wasn't changed. I don't think it is. Maybe I should have made these into blocks. Seems like we're using them in blocks more than anything. But no, for right now I'll just leave them as items. So it was Inori crystal and iron casing. Oh, we get 32. That is really cheap for technically what might look to be a pretty good looking building block. But anyway, so we need to position this guy in a place where he gets power. This is our main power lines, so... Oh, hold up. Deal with the newcomers. If we just put this guy here, we wouldn't be able to... Oh, we can get rid of that cable. It's not doing anything important. That was just the cable that was running to the powered crafting table. This is the most zombies I've ever had bother me in one night. Usually it's one that walks over here. And the reason I don't block it off is because I don't mind. It's a good way to keep getting experience slowly. So we should be able to do something like this. And then get rid of this. This lava factory is complete and can produce lava. Okay, so it's charging up. And theoretically, when it's full, let's see, what does it say? How much did it require? 150,000 per... Oh, there we go. Just like that. We have lava, which means we can make obsidian, which is fantastic. Because obsidian is what we needed for the shock absorber, which goes over there. But anyway, we did a bunch of stuff today. It's looking janky. I'll probably end up shifting stuff around off camera in between episodes, just to make things look a bit nicer, and maybe we'll... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll expand the platform just a little bit more this way. I really don't think that it's breaking the rule of building on the island, because we're technically not touching it. We're just slightly over the snow. It looks like we do have a little bit of wiggle room. So I'll do that, and then these guys are incredibly efficient. I really can't stress that enough. So this is good. We're really set on EU power for a while. And let me just put these guys back in. And one more time. I'll probably do these manually until this is done, because it's just a couple more pieces of steel. But then what I want to look into is, since we have this steel now, we might be able to make a very small reactor, depending on what it runs on. Because it might need yellorium, which I didn't think about actually, as I was kind of thinking out loud. And yellorium, yeah, I think we need to get yellorium. Can we get... maybe we can't. I don't know. I don't know how to get that. Maybe we can't do that. Either way, guys, this might be a short one. I might have been rambling and lost track of time. I'm really not sure. But I'm going to call the episode here. We got a lot done. And we have lava now, so that's going to help with progression. And I'll just let that produce lava some more, and we'll let this run. Hopefully stock up on ethanol. And we actually need to produce the biomass, so I might... Oh, this is already done again. This isn't good. This is not good. We're going to run out of saplings, so yeah, I might look into other ways of doing this, because this isn't cutting it. So, whatever. This has been episode 6. Thank you for joining me, and I'll hope to see you in episode 7. I'm out.